Well, thanks for staying with us. Parents and students know there are only a few weeks until kids will be back in classrooms, and as you're searching maybe for all the school supplies, you have to invest as well in a quality and comfortable backpack that won't strain your child's back. So here to help us find the right one and give us some guidance on using it properly and safely is Ryan Chizek, physical therapist with Mercy Medical Center. So thanks for joining us
welcome
today.
Thank you very much.
Obviously, we know kids often go for fashion. He looks quite fashionable, but function is very important. So what do you think parents should most be looking for when it comes to picking out one of these backpacks for?
So we have our model here, Jake, here, and he's modeling an ideal backpack that has the dual straps. That's what we kind of usually look for. It's lightweight. It has padding on these shoulder straps again, and then ideally we'd also look for the multiple compartments. So if Jake wants to turn around, that's going to help evenly distribute the weight throughout the backpack itself, so it's not all focused just in one part of the back.
I was going to say, I think when I was in school, I had the old one that has only it had like the one pack and then one on the bottom.
Right, yeah, just like the one here. All the weight was then carried down the load in the back of the low back, and that's when we had some strains in the muscles back there.
So these are much more ergonomic.
Much more ergonomically safe.
Okay,
yes.
Now let's talk about when you actually start to see those injuries happen. It's in older students because they carry around lots of books. You mentioned that they're going class to class and they have to take their books with them. What kind of problems can those heavy backpacks cause those kids? And
so we can see within the clinics, we see some neck pain, low back pain, shoulder pain, and even some hand pain. We get some numbness and tingling. If the straps are too tight, it can cause some compression and cause some hand tingling and numbness through there. So ideally what we want to look for this backpack is we want to have a backpack that's no more than greater than 15% of our child's body weight.
Okay.
So with Dylan here, he's about 80 pounds. And so with that, we want to shoot for about 12 pounds of weight in his backpack. Any more than that's going to cause some strain, like I said, to the neck, the low back, and also the shoulders.
Okay, and what you mentioned, you know, we've been talking more about like the older students, high school age is typically where we think, okay, heavy textbooks, but you're seeing patients in middle school.
Right, yeah, with the going to class, these kids, they say they don't have enough time to go to the lockers. And so ideally what we want to do is we want to make sure the backpack fits properly. So with Jake here, you want to make sure it sits in the middle of the back. It's not too high, so you see the backpack's not coming over his shoulders, but it's not going below his waist at the same time. That way it's going to have that support in the right spot of the back.
Okay, so 15% is that good number?
15%.
Now you brought an example.
Yeah, we got a few examples here.
Okay, bring those in.
We got a couple here, so these are definitely more fashionable. They have the single strap that goes across, and so if Jake wants to model this one for us, he can. With this, like you said, we want to have a dual strap to kind of equally distribute that weight. So this is just a single strap here, so it's putting a lot of strain to the shoulder here, and all the weight's being held in kind of the left side of his back there. I just want to make sure the weight is evenly distributed across their back.
So not a good option.
Not a good option.
Okay.
Second part here is just those kind of sling back ones that we have that are very popular. It has the dual straps, but again, they're not padded. And so with this, it can cause excess strain in the shoulders and cause pain through there.
And if you overload them, it can definitely cut into your shoulders.
Yeah, it can definitely cut into the shoulders, which we all probably noticed.
Yeah, okay, and then the last option that you brought.
The last one here, this is Jake's favorite. That's what we have. We're gonna switch here.
About the style here. I mean,
we got the nice zebra print here. So this one is a good backpack in the fact that it has the dual straps.
Okay.
And they are padded. But just with Jake here, it doesn't have the chest straps or the waist straps here to kind of distribute the weight. And again, this is not as many with the compartments. This has kind of the old school backpack with the single compartment here. All the weight's kind of carried low. As you can see, the backpack's kind of sitting low on his waist there too at the same time.
So that might be better for an older student.
Older student,
taller, with more body mass, I guess.
Exactly. Like in just the height itself. You want to make sure the backpack isn't too tall, because if it's too tall, then all the weight, as you can see, isn't held down in the lower part of the back, causing that strain down the low back area.
Okay. Now I heard from Nicole earlier when we were talking about this segment that she used to walk through the hall like to balance out her back, you know. And what are the signs that parents need to be looking for?
And so the biggest things, like you said there, is the straining forward. So when the kid is really hunched over trying to walk through the hallway, that's indicating that the backpack is definitely way too heavy. Their neck is real postured forward. Also, I just recommend to parents at home, just take the backpack and weigh it. And just see it the first couple weeks of school and see what actually 15% of their child's body weight is. Because you'd be surprised how light they actually have to be to make sure they're not having excess strain to that back.
Shocking. I don't miss those days at all. So plenty of school ahead of you, Jake. So thanks so much for joining us, Ryan.
Thank you very much.
And some great tips to keep in mind if you haven't already bought that backpack.